Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. Today we're going to talk something that gets people just always riled up when it comes to fighting games, and that's just character power. This character is alright, this character is bad, this character is top tier, this character is garbage, this character is killing the game. We love to talk about characters' relative power, regardless of the game, and frankly, that's never, ever going to change. I'll be here in my 50s talking about like Street Fighter 8 and King of Fighters 17 or whatever, and we're gonna have these same fights regardless. It's always gonna be a thing. So in today's video, let's take a look at the latest topic of debate, and that is Mai in Street Fighter 6. So when Mai came out, the overwhelming majority opinion was, she's alright, and maybe some sparkled, well, she's kinda bad, and that was about it. And now, even though Mai hasn't changed, the opinion is starting to change. In the course of the last few days, been seeing a lot of, you know what, actually, Mai's kinda good. To a lot of, well, actually, screw Mai just being good, Mai's kinda great, Mai's kind of amazing. And this is being echoed at all echelons of play, even at the highest possible levels, when you have people like Angry Bird, fresh off the Capcom Cup trip, saying kinda, actually, she's like Street Fighter V Luke. And she's the best in the game by far. So the journey of characters alright to slash maybe a little bit bad to, oh, she's the best character in the game by far, that's quite the journey now, isn't it? However, because fighting games are fighting games, this actually is well-treaded ground. You'll often find characters in any given game discussed as this character is dog water to, oh, they're actually the best character in the game, or conversely, this character is amazing, and then they fall off pretty hard, even though nothing actually changes. Like, there's so many examples over so many games. Like, Morgan used to be considered not very good in Marvel 3, and you're probably like, wait, what? Yeah, well, it wasn't until Chris G really took Morgan to her max level, and then all of a sudden, Morgan went from not very good to, oh, she's killing the game. People used to argue that Adon was very bad, and many high-profile people were saying this too, by the way, and in Street Fighter 4, and then turned out, no, actually, Adon pretty alright in the end. I remember specifically people calling Tremor abysmal in Mortal Kombat X. Abysmal is a very strong word. If you're there, you know. And how'd that wind up turning up? Oh, Tremor's a god, turns out. MK11 and Fujin launches, and everyone's like, Fujin is hard and bad. He's just not good at playing the game. How'd that turn out? Well, Evo Grand Finals was Fujin versus Fujin. Funny story. There's so many examples across so many games, like it could be its own video, basically, of characters being dismissed out of the gate, then turns out, oh, we just didn't really put in the time and effort yet. And is that the case with Mai in Street Fighter 6? And maybe, just maybe. The thing about early impressions is, well, there's early impressions, right? Like, sometimes things aren't as immediate out of the gate. Like here you're looking at Capcom Cup footage, right? And for Capcom Cup, you didn't really see too much. There was a little bit, like as you're seeing, my representation, but not too much. But also, she's newer. There's a lot of money on the line. People don't necessarily want to risk all the big bucks on a new character that's not as proven. Like, it's since come out after the big win and Kakaru won with JP, right? He was actually thinking about playing Mai, and basically his wife talked him out of it. And probably for the best, because it was a $1 million decision. In big money situations, unless the character's proven just unstably broken out of the gate, you probably should go with what you know and what's safe. But now the high stakes are over. We're just kind of waiting for Season 3 now, right? There's no more big tournaments on the immediate horizon, no more big cash prizes, right? And now that we get to sit and think about it, like, is Mai actually messed up? Is she actually very strong? And of course, there's been more discussion about it. Like, let's take something like EX Fan, right? EX Fan is kind of nuts. Like, I think that's immediately apparent. You know, even when we did the guide early on when she launched, I'm like, yo, EX Fan is your best move. And why is it messed up? Like, on its face, EX Fan doesn't play by the same rules kind of everything else does, right? It suffers in that it has less durability than other EX projectiles. So if the enemy knows you're gonna, like, then the EX you back, they win. Sure, whatever, right? But most of the time, like, they don't know, and like, what's the actual reward for calling you out? You both lose the same amount of meter, and then you just kind of reset the neutral. It's kind of like whatevs, right? Versus the good distance, she does this, you're not really reacting to it in a way that matters, like just raw jumping, especially the uncharged version, because it doesn't matter, like if you parry it, because it's still doing the thing it wants to do, and that it just has to touch you on hit, on block, on parry. It doesn't matter, it just has to touch you, and then there's the bounce, and from the bounce comes all the pressure and all the mix and all the potential from it. So you could argue it's a low interaction move, at least on the defender's part, right? Because all it has to do is touch you and it did its job. And then from there, you know, guess buttons, guess throw, like guess maybe an overhead, maybe like whatever it may be, right? All I had to do was graze you with it. Even if you did the good option, like you could perfect parry it. It doesn't matter, the bounce is still happening. And it's an EX, right? There's no drive rush needed. There's no additional setup. You just chuck it and then you're good to go. And being an EX, like your meter starts regenerating basically almost immediately. So like it's actually a fairly low consequence, low risk option to toss out. You just do it and you see what happens. Anyone who's put in time in the dungeon against my like EX fan is automatically just going to be their most hated move, because it's frustrating. It's very strong. It's very easy to use and abuse. And fair enough. A fighting game character should have something they're good at, right? If they don't have good, strong moves, they're probably not fun to play and you're not going to want to waste your time. It's not inherently bad for her to have something strong out of the gate. Maybe you could argue it's bad that, once again, it's very low interaction. There's not much you can actually do against it, but that's the way the cookie crumbles for that. But the thing is, and I think this is why more people are kind of upping their my game, upping their my opinion, is my, even though we all knew EX Fan was really strong out of the gate, mine's a lot more than just EX Fan. There's a couple of comments I found rather poignant about this in specific. In commenting with Angry Bird here, James Chen brought up that Mai is like reverse Lily. They both have very abusable moves. Mai has EX Fan, Lily has EX Condor Spire, but Mai, unlike Lily, has a lot of other things going for her, right? Lily, she has EX Condor Spire. Everyone knows EX Condor Spire. It's awesome. But like, that's kind of all Lily is. Lily has very little going for her. Lily, everyone knows, Lily is dog water. She is an awful character. Awful and just straight up bad. Does she have one great move? Sure, but one great move is not enough to make a character. But what if you have one great move and a lot of everything else? Like Hamoud said here, playing Mai reminds me of Ultra Street Fighter 4 Elena, in that I have full control of the match whenever I want. Now, we actually recently talked about Elena in another video not too long ago, but that's very much it about her. Everything that mattered in Ultra Street Fighter 4, specifically everything that mattered in terms of like what makes a character good, Elena had all of it. She was just fantastic at playing the game as it was. And then, of course, you had something stupid like healing on top of it, and that was just what kind of put her over the edge. So let's take our base here. EX Fan is stupid, bad, and broken, and really strong. Sure, okay. But then we have the everything else. Mai has some of the best buttons in the game flat out. Stand medium punch, 8 frames, special cancelable. Awesome. Stand heavy punch, 9 frames, heavy, also special cancelable, really strong. Stand heavy kick. Oh my god, stand heavy kick is so good. The range is absurd for what it is. It has so much to offer. It is a punish counter okay move for one. So that's really strong. On block, what about it on block? It says negative 3, who cares? That's a made up number as far as I'm concerned. Look at the pushback on block, right? Negative 3, who cares? And it also deals 75% of like a drive gauge in damage. So like, this is a magic button. This button is all upside. You add that to her other like really strong buttons, and she's got a lot of good buttons overall. Like, that's a lot. It's not the Lily situation where Lily has one really good abusable thing, then everything else kind of falls apart. Her solid core fundamental everything is good. She has a classic reversal. You know, lots of characters that are bad don't have the ability to defend themselves in any real way. Mai does. Mai's basic corner structure just has an intense amount of corner carry. If you are mid-screen, you better believe you're going to the corner no matter what on basically any hit. When it comes to throw loops, she has basically the best throw loop in the game. Like, this is the best kind of throw loop in that it's auto-timed. You just dash. If you just dash, then you're automatically so plus that you automatically beat any button, but you're also at the exact range where you can easily walk back to avoid the wake-up reversal, to avoid, you shimmy their throw tech, all that kind of stuff, right? It's the best kind of throw loop. And obviously we talked to death about throw loops on the channel, but throw loops are kinda good. There's really no aspect of the game that she fails at, right? Like, I guess you could argue like her uppercut, her reversal, is certainly not the best one in the game, right? But it's better than not having one. Once again, most of the reasons why characters are bad, like part of the reason they're bad in Street Fighter 6 is because they don't have reversals. Better to have one than not, right? But generally, it's the characters that excel at basically everything, right? These are the characters that are good. Maybe they have one or two overwhelming strengths, like an EX fan, or say like Rashid, like a level 2 super. And then it's the fact that they're kind of good at everything else is what makes them good. Like look at Rashid, look at Ed, look at Akuma, look at Ken. They're kind of just great at everything. And then on top of being great at everything, they also have just more heightened strengths on top of that. As far as weaknesses, well, no, not really. Don't really got any. And that's kind of why I feel people are starting to turn around on Mai. Obviously, EX fan, out of the gate, we all knew was turbo strong, sure, right? But people are just kind of waking up to the fact that, like, Mai isn't bad at anything, right? She has just a lot of upsides, very abusable buttons, basically best throw loop in the game. There's nothing actually bad about her. So is she top 1? I don't know. I ain't here to make no argument that she's top 1, right? But is she a stronger character? I think assuredly so, and people are waking up to that fact. Once again, early opinions about her were kinda, she's okay at best, right? But now, things are changing up a little bit. And that's perfectly okay. It's not like if your week 1 take isn't correct out of the gate, then you're just wrong about everything forever, right? Like, sometimes it takes time to assess character strengths. Like myself, famously, I thought the Season 2 changes for Honda were going to be good, and I thought he was going to be okay and fun to play, and we are where we are right now, aren't we? But hey, Season 3 is right around the corner, and the new glorious age of Honda is about to begin. I have to believe in this. I got nothing else. But at this point, this is where I want to toss it to you guys, right? So what do you think? Did you always believe in Mai? Are you kind of changing your opinion? Or maybe do you still think she's so-so at best? Where are you on Mai right now? Post in the comments below. I guess we'll all see how it turns out, and of course Season 3 is right around the corner, and lots of characters are very subject to change. But my friends, that's it for now, and that's it for the video. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Street Fighter.